Hey there, friends and foes. This is Back of the Cereal Box, Comic Book Breakfast Club, and I am your host, Johnny B. And on this episode, I'm going to do a quick review of 3 of my favorite trade paperback adaptations. We've got Godzilla Here There Be Dragons, Godzilla Sons of Giants, and Godzilla Here There Be Aliens, and we're going to do that right after this.
Saturday morning, it's fun for all. Cartoons and cereal, let's have a ball. Comic books, kaiju, pro wrestling too. The fun is waiting for you. Back of the Cereal Box.
All right, friends and foes, Comic Book Breakfast Club. Saturday mornings, we're all about cartoons and cereal, but also, for me, all about comic books. And after we were done eating cereal, watching cartoons, watching some pro wrestling, maybe watching a Godzilla movie, or maybe watching The Adventures of Superman, or whatever else was on TV, my buddy Brian Knupp and I, we would jump on our bicycles and we would ride down to Lawson's drugstore, Lawson's convenience store, and pick up comic books, Coca-Cola, and candy. So Saturdays were all about comics for me. And this series is sharing some of my favorite books that I've read, or some important books that I've read recently. And mostly they will be in trade paperback or graphic novel form. Because at this point in my life, that's really how I like to read series. In one sitting. So we're going to start with this trio of Godzilla trade paperbacks. And you may have noticed I've been reading a lot of Godzilla lately. I was never a fan of the translation from movies to comics, and in most cases I still am not. Like, I really don't like the Star Wars comics. I love the movies and I love the TV shows, but the comics never capture the same energy and excitement, and that's true of most projects. If I fell in love with it as a animated series, the comic book series doesn't quite come close to the feeling that it gave me. However, with Godzilla comics, I don't know what they're doing or how they're doing it, but it really captures my attention and the excitement that the movies did. Not every Godzilla series does that, but this trio definitely does. So let's start first with Godzilla Here There Be Dragons. And this is a special edition that was available only from Books A Million, and it is signed by the writer Frank Thierry. And in short, this story is basically a cross between Godzilla and Pirates of the Caribbean. And the narrator, the teller of the story, is this pirate named Hull, and he was first mate. Here's Hull. He's kind of the Captain Jack Sparrow of this story. And he was first mate with Francis Drake before he became a pirate. And he became a pirate because their fleet encountered Godzilla in the Atlantic Ocean. And in this story, he's telling the story as he remembers it, as he witnessed it. And he's in prison, he's in jail, and here's some of the artwork. The artwork is phenomenal. Some of the Godzilla stories, the writing is always great, but sometimes the artwork is a little bit mediocre. On this series, it is phenomenal. And the artist on this is Inaki Miranda, or Miranda, however you want to say that. Inaki Miranda. Great art. And all I can tell you is Pirates of the Caribbean, Godzilla, and a fearful story told to the British naval officers while Hull is captured and imprisoned. It's epic. This grabbed my attention from the very first moment. I think it was 5 issues, the series, either 4 or 5. Does it say? I'm going to tell you in just a moment. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. It doesn't say. I have no idea. But 4 or 5 issues right here. And it was followed by a second series called Sons of Giants. And this is a very different story. This story is all about how, we first encounter Godzilla in the 1700s. In the 1800s, in America, there is a group called the Sons of Giants, and they're led by President Thomas Jefferson. And they are all about defending and protecting. Here's Thomas Jefferson right there. They are all about defending and protecting the kaiju from being discovered and hunted and maybe destroyed, because in their terms, we depend on and rely on the kaiju. And basically, this book retells the entire history of the world through the stories of kaiju. So there's Pompeii, the volcano. It wasn't a volcano. It was Godzilla. There's an ancient Egypt. Oh, Beowulf, the legend of Beowulf. It wasn't Grendel. It was Hedorah. And that's how this book goes. Oh, here's a story from ancient Egypt. The plagues, the biblical plagues, were not biblical plagues. They were kaiju plagues. And the parting of the Red Sea was due to Mothra. And by the way, guys, I do not agree with this story. This is not what happened. If you are Jewish or if you're Christian, you know that God parted the Red Sea, not Mothra. This is fiction only. So just want to throw that out there. Anyway, that's what this whole book is about. And at the end, there's a book that Benjamin Franklin kept journals on all of these stories and the history, and he had designs. And in this book, it ends with us seeing Benjamin Franklin's design for Jet Jaguar. And then we move forward. And by the way, again, the writer Frank Thierry, Inaka Miranda, and Eva de la Cruz. I think Eva de la Cruz is the colorist. Yeah, colorist. Finally, we get to the third part of the series, Here There Be Aliens. And this is also by Frank Thierry and art by Angel Hernandez. And this is a very traditional Godzilla story. This is very much like the classic Godzilla films. But it's told through, and we're not given an exact date, but based on the artwork and the vehicles, I want to say this is the late 60s. And we're told this through recaps of the pirate stories, the Sons of Giants stories. But now the federal government, the Men in Black, are having to prepare for a defense against not just King Ghidorah, but, and here's Mecha King Ghidorah, but coming to Earth, Space Godzilla, Megalon, let's see, I can't remember all of the names. Here's the Mecha Godzilla. So 4 or 5 alien kaiju are coming to invade Earth, and the Sons of Giants, the federal government, and another alien race that we have partnered with are fighting against the Xalians. And here we have Mecha King Ghidorah versus King Ghidorah. And then, and here's the our ally alien race. And you all, this is like destroy all monsters, because we have fighting this army of kaiju. We've got Jet Jaguar, we've got King Ghidorah, we've got the giant lobster, the spider, Rodan, Mothra, and of course Godzilla. This reads like the movies. I sat down to read this with about a 2-hour time frame, and I think I read it in 45 minutes. It just flies. There's Jet Jaguar against Mecha Godzilla. Great King Kong. That would be a great poster. A King Kong. Great Godzilla. King Kong is not in these stories. And here we see more of the battle. Just amazing. Okay, we have Jet Jaguar, Mecha Godzilla against Mecha Godzilla, and we got Mothra versus Megalon, and Rodan versus Gigan, and Ibira is the lobster monster. King Caesar is joining the fight, and then we've got Anguirus versus Hedorah. But the Prime Hedorah is battling its brothers and sisters, its mini versions. So here's the alien race, the Simians. What an amazing story! All 3 of these. If you are looking for just great entertainment on a weekend, pick up these 3 trade paperbacks. The Here There Be Dragons, Sons of Giants, and Here There Be Aliens. And if you love great action adventure, if you love great storytelling, if you love Godzilla and kaiju, you're going to fall in love with these like I have. I highly, highly recommend them. You can get them at a local comic book shop, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble. You can probably order them direct from IDW. IDW is going to have these on their website. You can order them direct from IDW. And I think that's how I got Here There Be Aliens. Got it direct from IDW. So check them out. If you like what we do, become a patron at patreon.com/SerialBoxPodcast. It's right down below. And contribute a few dollars. Help us grow. Get some free content like this video first. Episodes, new loot. All of that comes here first before going anywhere else. And then you get some special exclusives only available to our paid members. Dun dun dun! So become a paid member of Patreon. And until the next time, hope you've enjoyed this review of these Godzilla books. I would love to get your opinion, hear what you think about these if you've read them. And you can post those comments below this video. And until then, this is Back of the Cereal Box. I'm Johnny B. Love you, mean it. We'll catch ya on the back of the cereal box. Ta-da!